Ladies and gentlemen, I got a new video for y'all today, basically fusing the concept of Naruto, Shippuden, the show, the anime show, with our everyday life, as we do know that a lot of people who are here to change the world, aka Christ figures, aka the chosen ones, we have to realize that a lot of us have a Jinchuriki in reference to Naruto. A Jinchuriki is actually a sacrifice for what? The power of basically a tailed beast. So I'm gonna show you guys the sacrifice of a tailed beast is actually a star being, a person who's a higher vibrating being. And the reason why these people are, or they do have Jinchurikis within inside of them, is because that Jinchuriki, that tailed beast that is within inside of them, is their shadow self. And that shadow self is the beast. That beast is not human, of course, as we know it. We have to realize and accept the fact that people who do have a Jinchuriki, these people are given trauma most of the time since birth, or they have actually developed this Jinchuriki in the sense where they've been given later on in life a trauma, aka a tailed beast, that they will actually have to tame and actually form a bond in order for them to use the chakra of this beast, aka using the energy of your shadow side. Meaning this person is to bond, aka fuse, integrate their shadow side with their consciousness so that they are aware of their trauma. Working on that trauma then builds the bond builds the bond to allow the person to channel the energy of the tailed beast. We do have to realize that Naruto is not a kid show. Naruto is basically given to us with, of course, the extravagant imagery of creativity, with all the colors and, explosions and things of that nature. But in correlation to real life, a lot of you star beings, a lot of you people who are out to literally change the world, you have a immense power to you because you guys are what? Jinchurikis. Jinchurikis in the sense where that word actually means power of human sacrifice. So guys, you were sacrificed by the universe to possess a being, a beast within inside of you, that if you were to bond with this beast, you then have the capability to use its power. To simplify all of that, fusing your shadow side with your consciousness, bonding your shadow side, bonding your beast to your consciousness, bringing attention to your beast allows you to have immense power so that you are able to then take on the journey as needed, because you have fused your shadow side, fused your beast with your consciousness. You brought your trauma to the forefront. You brought your trauma to your consciousness. You are now aware of it. You are now able to change things that once came off as a negative to now it becoming a positive. You have accepted that beast. You have accepted your trauma. And now you can channel its energy through you freely, and you are now able to take on the world in ways that can allow you to help people and to always continue to help yourself, which is why you guys have many power-ups, many different forms. Because you being a Jinchuriki, a lot of us are born as a Jinchuriki, and some of us at certain ages, we are given a certain trauma, aka a certain beast, aka a certain trauma, aka a certain shadow. Damn, I just said trauma. Aka a certain shadow that will allow us to have potential energy to use the power of that trauma. When the beast is literally tearing up the city, you got this, you being a Jinchuriki, you lose control, you get upset, you get mad. That beast, that tail beast that's within inside of you, then tear up the town, it tears up the village. Because it has literally escaped from your subconscious mind to now being conscious in the physical world. Therefore, becoming a raging bull and destroying things, creating tail beast bombs. Due to you having a issue with your anger and you not knowing how to control it, due to the fact that you do not even want to integrate your shadow with your consciousness. Due to you not wanting to speak to your tail beast within your subconscious mind so that you may remain mentally stable. Naruto Shippuden is strictly about gaining power through the journey of self-expression to help others and to always continue and help yourself. When a Christ figure, when a prophesized person have a tailed beast within them, a lot of these people will have mental disorders as a kid sometimes, because that mental disorder is great power. That mental disorder is only disordered because it is not brought to the consciousness of that person. It is not brought to the attention of that person that they are doing something wrong. This is why in Naruto Shippuden, the people who possess the Jinchurikis, the people who possess the tailed beast, let me change that. The people who possess the tailed beast are the Jinchuriki. The Jinchuriki themselves are the sacrifice for the tailed beast to be placed into the body of this person. But the tailed beasts themselves are generational curses appearing as a beast, appearing as a shadow, if we want to correlate it to the real world. But the tailed beasts are literally a form of trauma being placed into a Jinchuriki, aka the human sacrifice is the Jinchuriki. The tailed beast entering the human body to therefore give that person potential power of greatness, of helping others, and to help themselves. A lot of people who have mental illnesses, these people are literally Jinchurikis. They have this beast within inside of them that if they were to bond, aka bring attention to these mental disorders, they will become greatly powerful due to the tailed beast feeling comfortable enough to bond with that person, therefore giving them, like I said before, the power of that tailed beast, aka the shadow side gives a person unlimited power of whatever it is that they want to set out in their journey for, to help other people and to help themselves, therefore making them a powerful person. Fusing your shadow side with your consciousness is just as simple as acknowledging your mental disorders and allowing yourself to move forward and wanting to fix those problems and or using those mental orders, as we would like to say, as a ability. For example, everyone who has a personality disorder literally has the capability of having a tailed beast within their bodies. But they don't accept the fact that they have a tailed beast within their bodies. Therefore, it makes them uncontrollable. It makes them have a mental disorder because it's all about personality. It's all about understanding who you are. And understanding who you are, you have to realize that you have a consciousness, which is a light side, and you have a subconscious, which is the dark side that people don't see. That dark side that people don't see is trauma itself. It is the tailed beast itself. It is the darkness itself. And for you to bring attention to that tailed beast that's in your subconscious mind, you know, the tailed beast Kurama that Naruto can subconsciously and telepathically speak to, which is why Kurama is always caged up, is because it's actually his subconscious mind. You will then gain unlimited power for your journey to help other people and to help yourself. And that's what Naruto Shippuden is about. Literally, the people who suffer from the most mental illnesses, these people have become human sacrifices for tailed beast beings to be placed into their bodies, which makes them then become a Jinchuriki. But that Jinchuriki naturally is brought into this world to be a Christ figure. So yes, everyone has a shadow side, but not everyone is a Jinchuriki. Not everyone is chosen. You do have to know that. But if you are chosen and you do realize that you do have these psychological issues from time to time in trying to understand yourself, you have to understand that you are a human sacrifice to a tailed beast, aka you were given the power from the universe. You were given these things that would be considered a disorder only so you can learn, accept, and heal yourself from these disorders, therefore transmuting that energy into power. That transmutation, in reference to Naruto, is to bond with that tailed beast. That's transmutation. Because every time that transmutation had become successful, when they've brought their traumas, their issues to the forefront, they've become more powerful than before. Because that tailed beast then become more comfortable enough to channel their energy through the Jinchuriki. The Jinchuriki is the human sacrifice, the person who has been brought into the world to be leaders, to change the world in a way of things being positive. So don't feel upset if you're noticing that you got these thoughts in your head that there's another person there, because 9 times out of 10, you do have another person there, which that's that potential power. If you bring it to the forefront by accepting that it's there in general, you're already doing yourself a favor. People who have a mental disorder don't accept the fact that there's a voice in their head, and that voice is them. They don't accept that it's them. They think it's something else outside of them, which naturally it disorders the person, therefore causing a psychological defect that causes a what? A disorder, a mental disorder, schizophrenia, personality disorders, bipolarism. Bipolarism and schizophrenia and any personality disorder in general is due to a tailed beast communicating with a person, and that person not actually understanding that that tailed beast is actually a part of them. Because 9 times out of 10, they were born with it. Some people can actually be sealed with this beast, this shadow, in reference to Naruto. But in the real world, everyone has a shadow. But we can also admit that not everyone is a Jinchuriki, aka not everyone is a star seed. Not everyone is a light worker. Not everyone has the capability to change the world, because not everyone is a Jinchuriki. Everyone has a shadow now, but not everyone has a Jinchuriki. Not everyone has the capability to even control in their life. Not everyone is able to control that tailed beast that's within inside of them, because they weren't even born with the consciousness to control it. So you may have family members that may even claim themselves to be the light worker or the light being, when you know you are, but your brother's saying he's a light being, your sister's saying she a light being, but you know they got mental disorders that don't allow them to connect or bring about acceptance of their trauma and darkness. That trauma and darkness is the tailed beast that's what's inside him. That's what's inside of them. That's what's inside of them. Not everyone has the capability of that. But a Jinchuriki, aka a starseed, has every capability to bond with their trauma, therefore making them more powerful than ever on whatever journey they set out for. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Naruto Shippuden in regards to society and the world that we live in based off of mental disorder. These anime shows were not made for children, because children would be making these shows if it was for children. There is adults that study psychology, numerology, and they decide that they want to do shows like this to put symbols in reference to life and how mental disorders can become a bigger problem if we don't pay attention to what that tail beast within inside of us, by us actually not acknowledging that tail beast. Never ignore that tail beast. Accept that tail beast for being a part of you. And as you decide you want to heal from that trauma that the tail beast give you, and that you are brought into this world to have, you're unstoppable. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that when you are the Jinchuriki, when you are the light being, you will have visions of your tail beast. You will have vision of beasts and spirits in general, because that is your spiritual prowess. That is your power. But if you are to integrate your tailed beast with your consciousness, realize that you will see that motherfucker. You will see visions of it. And please don't think that it's something super, super scary that you cannot accept within yourself. Because if you do that, you can become crazy. You can become schizophrenic. You can become bipolar. You can have a personality disorder due to you psychically having visions of a beast. But realize that that beast is a part of you and it's within you. But you being the Jinchuriki that you are, you were given the power. You were given the mental capacity to accept the fact that this beast that you see in your head, you may hear it. It may give you thoughts of things. Accept the fact that it is a part of you. And you take on the bond of that trauma that tailed beast give you. But accept the fact now that tailed beast will appear to you. And if you are scared of it, it can potentially give you mental disorders, therefore making you a person who has a mental illness. So that's why it's very important to work on self, and it's very important for these TV shows to come out with creative ways to give people ideas on what life is about. Life is about school because life is about working on self. And self is that tail beast. When you get people who don't work on themselves, you realize these are some of the most mentally unstable people that you could be around, no matter how much money they get. But realize when you, as the light being, you as the Jinchuriki, that Jinchuriki is the person who is the sacrifice to humanity, to have a mental capability to take on an energy so broad and beastly as power, so they can help change the world for other people and themselves in a way of positivity and light. You got this, Jinchuriki. You got this, light being. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, in correlation to people who are born as starseeds, people who are born as the chosen ones, and people who are born as a Jinchuriki with that tail beast inside of you, understand that if you have siblings, brothers and sisters, you will have siblings that have mental illnesses, in the sense where they will never be able to control their mental illness, because you'll realize that you're the only one that is actually probably even mentally stable in the family due to the generational curses. The generational curses are the tail beast being compacted into one being, which is your shadow, which is why they say the light being is the one who take on the energy and the power of all the generational curses within their family. Understand that there's always only one star in the family. There's always only one Jinchuriki. There's always only one Christ figure. There's always only one chosen one within every generation of each person that you see. You'll never have a brother that's as conscious as you. You'll never have a sister that is as conscious as you, being the chosen one. You'll never have another Jinchuriki in the family, no matter how conscious your brother is. It's just your brother does not have the mental capacity to take on what you can take on. Your sister does not have the mental capacity to take on what you can take on. Realize and accept the fact that you have the capacity to remain mentally stable in some of the most ferocious conditions because you are the Jinchuriki. The Jinchuriki is a sacrifice to humanity to go through the journey of having a lot of mental problems being thrown at them, only for them to stabilize and find stability within themselves, to remain stable enough to teach people and to teach others and to teach themselves and to constantly teach themselves in this manner, to literally channel their tail beast energy through them, to continue to build. It's all about building, because this is school. But realize that, yes, you will have siblings that are mentally ill. And you realizing that, wow, I seem to be the most mentally stable out of all of my siblings, even out of your parents a lot of the times. But that's the path that you have been given as the Jinchuriki. And when you look up the word Jinchuriki, I've been saying it wrong. When Jinchuriki, when you look up the word and the meaning, when you look up that meaning, it literally means you are the sacrifice to humanity for all of these mental problems to come forward, to channel through you, for you to stabilize those problems, because those are generational curses from the past being given and placed into you for you to now be stable minded and control that power and bond with that power, that beast.